This Sunday's Introit, Laetétur quaeréntium Dóminum, is a lovely little piece of music. It appears several times in our present liturgy. It was mentioned by one of the brothers. We sang it as the Introit for the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time. It also appears in the 4th week of Lent, on a weekday, I believe on Wednesday, which is its original place in the liturgy. The 4th Sunday and the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time are both somewhat new innovations in the new calendar, and so we find ourselves with this Introit here. I mentioned it's a particularly elegant piece of music, 3 fairly equal statements, each one of them almost singable on one breath, if you take a big breath and have good control. But I also think there's a nice parallelism to the setting of the words. And something that's so important about chant is the preeminence given to the text. I want to do one thing for you, and that is we're going to sing quaérite Dóminum, and listen for how the text is set here. The meaning of this is, seek the Lord. It's an imperative. Quaérite Dóminum. One thing that's interesting about this is the word quaérite is accented on the first syllable, and in this setting of it, we do something musically that is, I think, somewhat awkward for us modern persons with modern sensibilities. We come in on this accented syllable, and then we depart from it by moving upward and back again. Quaérite, quaérite. This is not an easy gesture for us to understand musically. At first, I think one thing that's helpful is simply to sing the word without changing pitch. This is a technique I use with the brothers. We'll just sing quaérite Dóminum and try to feel the actual rhythm of the words and sing them as if we really understand them. Seek the Lord. Quaérite Dominum. Now, why would the monk or the canon who set this text set it in the way he did? I think it's a little bit too direct, it's an imperative, so it's a command. But the nature of the gospel is such that God always elicits our free response with a kind of persuasive gesture, and I think this playful gesture does that. Quaérite Dominum. We hear how the ornamentation of the actual phrase also has this playfulness to it. We're going to sing the last phrase now, quaérite fáciem eius semper. So seek his face always. Listen again how quaérite is set. Quaérite fáciem eius semper. So once again, surely not an accident. We have one note on the accented syllable, quaérite. One other thing I like about this Introit is that it makes connections between different musical statements in a very subtle way. So when we sang quaérite Dominum a moment ago, quaérite Dominum. The end of Dominum has this ornament. It's like an afterthought. It's a playful, affectionate kind of gesture. And then we repeat the same thing the next time we sing quaérite. Quaérite. But instead of it rounding off a kind of half cadence, a half of a phrase, it leads us right into fáciem eius. And then fáciem eius, fáciem fáciem eius semper has this pretty wild melisma, eius, which we've also heard somewhere before. Listen to the opening phrase once again. Laetétur So the composer of this chant has used these little musical signals to tie the whole thing together. And as I said, for me, it has a real elegance to it. Not very easy to explain except to perform it and try to listen for these connections. One other thing I should mention before we sing it for you one more time and finish for today is I've used this word ornament a number of times. It's an important word for me in trying to explain the aesthetic of Gregorian chant. We, modern people again, will tend to look at the music on the page and see all these notes and think, oh, this is a melody. And it goes like this. Quaeréntium Dóminum. It's a nice melody, as melodies go. But there's a difference between melody and ornament. An ornament is not part of the general thrust of the melody. It's a gesture that gives a kind of piquant intensity to that moment in the chant. And much of chant is better thought of as an ornamentation of a general sweep of a melody. So we have a kind of melody that goes like this. Laetétur quaeréntium Dóminum. So think of that in the back of your mind as we sing the actual words, and we add the ornaments, and we give a sense of playful joy on each of these notes. Okay, once more, Laetétur quaeréntium Dómino.